Hi everyone. Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, because we have people from all over the world today representing this session. I'm just so excited about it. Firstly, welcome to VCTV for those who are here for the first time. And welcome back to those those who've been here before, like Khalid,
Hi.
Kyle, Jose, Ivan, Bosque, Luis. I'm trying to remember, read the names. I've got somebody that I don't recognize, but Carol is going to help me out as well. So VCTV. Before we jump into the topic, we just have 1 hour. I know that, but we can possibly go like 10 minutes over time if you guys are okay. So the whole goal and objective of VCTV, which is the Venture Capital TV, is to connect investors like yourselves with the startup community that we have within our network, because startups are the ones you would agree for sure, because some of you obviously are founders as well of companies, are the ones who are actually the drivers of the economy, especially in the times of crisis like this. I know for a fact Ivan has been traveling all of the world even during these times, so that's the whole point of this platform, is to help them get the right connections, get them right funding, get them right traction, so that they can scale up and contribute to the economy. So that's the whole idea of this platform. That's why we do it Monday to Friday, every day, because we Lato can think that things are moving really fast. We might not see it, but I think obviously Ivan is going to agree with me. We don't see it like, but the things are moving really fast. We might be locked down or strangled, as somebody said, at one country, but things are really moving fast. So that's the whole purpose of bringing VCTV every day to you, and also the startup community who are watching us and the audience who are watching us. So that's about a bit about the VCTV, that concept. Myself, Sonny Mohanty, as most of you, or rather all of you, know me. So I'm the regional director of La Choken, and I'm based here in Singapore since February 2020. I have been in one place. I haven't moved anywhere else, unlike Ivan, who has been traveling a lot, and I'm jealous about it. I'm going to come to you with that. So today's topic is about investments in, mobile payments. Of course, we know mobile payments are the ones who are like fintech payments have just gone up the roof because of the cashless economy that we are living right now, and e-commerce. We also have somebody from Singapore who is going to be speaking about his fundraising for his project. So he's into crypto. He's doing a private sale, and he's going to obviously give a presentation later in the second part, half of the session. So, considering the number of speakers we have, I don't want to take more time. I like to straight jump into introductions. Please start with a quick introductions about yourself, the company you represent, and we go from there. I'd like to start with Bosky from Singapore. Hi, Bosky. Welcome to VCTV.
Hey, hi. How are you? Good.
Hey, I'm
Thanks
great.
for the introduction. As she said, I'm Bosky, and I'm one of the investor co-founder of a startup called Live Media, and I also have invested in a couple of more startup in the fintech and e-commerce space. And I enjoy appearing in VCTV now and then, and it's been an exciting journey so far. Look forward to hear others' views, and also be looking forward to the pitch.
Excellent. Thank you. Welcome back, Bosky. Next, I'd like to go for Kyle. Hi, Kyle.
Hello, my name is Kyle Chasse. I've been in Bitcoin since 2012. My company, the parent company is called Master Ventures. We've done quite a bit of different things. I also have acted as an independent investor as well before Master Ventures, and I've invested in about 50 different blockchain infrastructure projects, including like Kraken and Coinbase, Abra, Circle, Bitfinex, Bitstamp, Bitso, and a bunch more. And in 2019, we switched from a venture capital to a venture studio. So we're building projects in-house right now. We just announced a project that we're working on called Paid Network, which is a decentralized civil legal system to remove costly and expensive and time-consuming attorneys in court situations. So a way to kind of build business relationships, massively simplified user agreements or agreements between people, and a borderless way to litigate these type of disputes. So we're really excited about that. And yep, that's it.
Amazing. And Kyle is originally from California, based in Thailand for many years, and actually Asia for many years. Welcome back. So next I'd like to go for Khaled, who is dialing in from Bangladesh for the second time. He loves VCTV so much that, he's just been chasing Carol. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, Khaled, welcome back.
Thank you very much. I'm Khaled Sohail Mohammed. So I work for Capital Bangladesh Limited, and I work there as a consultant and an advisor. And most of my company, Venture Capital Bangladesh, actually they invest on new startups, and also with fintech. Who comes with fintech is also a very interesting area of them. And in last few years, we have invested. In last year, I would say about $1 million. So we like to increase it. And previously, we used to invest in national investors mostly, but now we are actually looking forward national, international both. So we're widening in this Corona time. So we have found that the investors are coming from all over the country, all over the world actually. So, and lots of investments are jointly organized together with our nationals and international parties together. Joint ventures are now also coming. So we are now very much interested in investing in national and international startups also. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Khaled, for that introduction. And welcome back to VCTV. Next, I'm going to move to Izaz. Hi, Izaz. Welcome to VCTV. Can you hear me?
You're talking about me?
Yeah, sorry. Did I pronounce your name?
My name is Ijaz, by the way. This is
Ijaz.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, thank you. Yep. Sonny, thank you very much for having me. I'm Ijaz, working in a company called Impulse, and Impulse is fully owned by a company called Entech, and Entech is fully owned by Kuwait Investment Authority. So the purpose of establishing this company was to invest in ICT sector around the globe and try to bring these technologies in the region. It's a growth stage investment company, and we have our business development arm as well. And we have invested, one of the key investments is Kareem. We invested in their C round, and which it is the biggest success story in the region, which Uber acquired them 3.1 billion valuation. And most of our investments have been in US. There are a couple in the region. We own a couple of companies. One is called Future Tech, which is IT infrastructure arm of the group, and providing these services to public and private sector in the region as well. The company has pivoted off, in fact, grown beyond the geography of Kuwait, and they have gone to Bahrain and Jordan. We have another company called Invita. We own 60% of this company, and there are some investments in the. We have recent exit in a company based in Vancouver. I'm sitting on their board as well. It's a mobile technology company, and one of the biggest giant in CRM space. It's based in Silicon Valley. Have just acquired last week, in fact, and we are just processing our exit. Yeah, so this is pretty much what we do.
Thank you, Ijaz. Sorry about pronouncing your name not correctly. And welcome to, I think this is the first time I'm hosting you, hence I couldn't catch your name correctly. So which country are you dialing in from?
Right now, we are, I'm based in Kuwait, but our investments have been, all over the world,
It's global, okay.
And we do two kinds of investments. One is the direct investments, and we also do fund investments.
Right, direct investments and fund investments. Good to know that. So that just a point to be noted. Note that I think your volume is not coming very clearly, but for the next time, like when you speak,
Sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that, and welcome to VCTV. So next I have Ivan, who is just dialing in from Turkey.
Guys, thank you. Pleasure to be here. As a lot of you already may know, I'm Evan Luthra. I'm a parallel entrepreneur and angel investor. We build and invest in all kinds of different technology companies. I'm pretty diversified when it comes to investments. We own dozens of coffee shops. We own cannabis companies. Ease.com, $500 million fastest growing cannabis company in the world. Vodka companies, fashion companies. We have thousands of tailors working full time for myself, but mostly been focused on using technology and going into disrupting existing industries. My business incubator startup studio, we work with non-tech entrepreneurs, and for the right idea, we don't just stop at building products. We help build companies from the ground up. Today, the combined market of the companies that we have built and invested in is actually billions of dollars. We have tens of millions of users across the world in 20 plus different countries. Related to fintech, I've been an equity investor in companies like Ripple, Hashgraph, and token investor in 100 different crypto coins today. We also have our own payment wallets, which we have launched in multiple countries. I was a seed investor in a company called FT Cash, started by the former CFO of Deutsche Bank. It's doing very good in India right now, has been a very straightforward growth since the last 4 years. We know what works. We know how it works. We have given out tens of millions of dollars in loans. We have enabled hundreds of millions of dollars in transactions to tens of millions of people. So what we're looking right now is to see how we can use our existing tech and the IP and processes that we have built and launched successfully in a market like India and take them to different countries. So really looking for partners right now around the globe who may want to build a fintech company around in the country, roughly looking for small island countries where there's not that much innovation that's happened, but they're ripe for disruption. We can come in, bring in the tech, bring in the marketing, bring in the money. We just need people on the ground willing to hustle. So really focused on that right now. And yeah, really a big believer in fintech, really believe that there's a lot of disruption that we're waiting to see in the next couple of years. I always believe, and I always say, technology grows exponentially. Unlike most businesses which grow linearly, we are going to see a lot of improvement and potential that's going to come up in the next few years. I want to be a part of that. I mean, so if anybody else is interested in working together, you know where to contact me. And hopefully looking forward to add some value today to the people who are listening.
Absolutely. Fantastic, Evan. Fantastic words. And guys, this is the platform to network as well. It's not only for the founders, it's also for investors like yourself to, build this community, find partners and grow. Thank you so much, Ivan, and welcome back to VCTV. So next, I'd like to go to Jose, which has joined us again today, and I managed to pronounce his first name correctly. Welcome back, Jose.
Thank you. I'm happy to be back. I see that we have also some familiar faces like Luis Velasquez and Gary Fowler from other panels. So welcome again. So my name is Jose. Basically, I'm a serial entrepreneur for the last 40 years. I was chairman of a business angels club. I was also a VC for a few years. I've been in different verticals in food sector, distribution, logistics, chemicals along my lifetime. But my heart really goes to everything which is related to technology and finance, which is my original background. I've been investing in this area now for 20 years, especially in the business management and the e-commerce space, and also in the payment solutions. So this panel today for me is like a cup of cake. I'm at home and really looking forward to it. Thank you, Sonny.
Welcome back, Jose. And yeah, obviously I'm very excited. I'm going to enjoy this session thoroughly today with so many minds coming together on one panel. Thank you. So next, welcome back, Luis. I'd like to go for you next. I know, Gary.
I'm not last. Gary's last. All right. Okay. Anyway, I'm here for you, Sonny, and Minnie Mouse. You know this. Okay. Yeah. Just to give you the quick skinny on myself without going too crazy. Been involved in finance for over a quarter century, technology longer than that. I'm a managing partner with FJ Partners. We're involved in AI, AR, VR, blockchain technology, and all that other fun stuff. We're doing some great things. And at the core of things, I'm an entrepreneur first and foremost. So we look at things from that level. We look at people. Anything that we do, it starts with the people, and then it goes with the business and everything else. And this topic today with digital payments, e-payments, is going to be a great topic. And I do welcome anyone on the panel. Reach out, connect. We may not do business, but you know what? You make another connection. You don't know where that can lead. And now I'm going to pass it over to Gary.
Thank you, Luis, and welcome back. And obviously, a lot of collaborations happening after the session for sure. Ivan and Luis can find synergy. I can already feel that. Thank you so much.
I like his mindset. It's all about the people. End of the day, that's what I always tell you.
See, there you go. The connection. Last but not least, Gary. Welcome back, Gary. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fantastic. So it's great to see all the panelists today. And my name's Gary Fowler, and I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've been doing startups for a long time, 35 years. Started my first startup at 21 years old. Didn't know what I was doing. Company took off. A lot of luck involved. But I'm into artificial intelligence today. I am the co-founder and CEO of GSD Venture Studios, Get Shit Done Venture Studios. We started off in Russia. Actually, I lived in Russia almost 14 years. I started the first accelerator in Russia, the #1 private corporate accelerator, Eva.ai, which is one of the top 10 AI companies in HR tech. I started that 4 years ago. Also on the management team of Click Software, an Israeli company that we brought to Silicon Valley and was sold to Salesforce for $1.3 billion 14 months ago, something like that. I write a lot. I've written 80 articles on artificial intelligence. I just wrote one yesterday, Sonny, on living to 150 through technology. I have one in Forbes coming out in a couple of days on AI and quantum computing, the intersection. I love fintech. I love specifically transportable AI models and how we can have a dramatic impact on fintech from areas of security, robotic process automation, and then of course 5G and dominating the world. So love it. It's great to be here. Great to see everybody again. And hello, Josie, and hello, Lewis, Evan. It's great to see you, Bosky. Great to be here. Thank you.
Hey, great.
Thank you
Great
so
to see
much.
you, Gary.
And welcome, and thank you so much, Gary, for that introduction. And welcome, a big welcome to all of you for giving your time today. And I can see a very good engaging panel today. Let's make it very free flowing, considering that the number of speakers we have today. So let's make it interactive and be free flowing. So the topic of today is about investments in e-payments, as Luis said, mobile payments and e-commerce. I'd like to start with Kyle. Kyle, let's talk about the trends in these sectors, the investments around it with yourself first. Thank you.
Around what specifically?
E-payments, mobile payments, e-commerce.
Like my niche is are you talking about in blockchain or in general?
Blockchain, yes.
Okay. Like we're starting to see just it's similar to when, for example, the internet was built. It was very complicated for anybody to use. One of the biggest pushbacks for crypto has always been, sending these complicated addresses and making sure they're copying and pasted, and it scares people that come to the market. And we've always been saying that eventually, with progress in technology and development, we would be able to, simplify these things. And now we're starting to see projects like Elron and Ferrum and different projects who are building out different ways, and also like unstoppable domains, things like this. These people are building ways to be able to send crypto from person to person with just using an email address or a phone number, for example, which is really going to make it more grandma friendly and easier for people to adopt. But that's kind of, obviously there's that's kind of all I have to say about that specifically. I'm not very involved really in mobile payments, other than that's just kind of the things I've observed this year as far as what's kind of going on and how that's going to massively help adoption.
I think there's an interesting discussion we can start from what he just said. I also see all these products being built right now in the crypto space where it's becoming a lot easier for the normal person to start using crypto, right? There's a lot more inclusion, as you would say, is happening. A great product that I've been using the last couple of weeks is a product called Celsius. So it's a wallet where you put your crypto and you earn interest on it, which was not possible before. Like you would hold tons of money in crypto and then you were not able to gain any sort of interest on it. You would only gain on the asset value that goes up. But Celsius now makes it easy for me not just to put my money crypto on there, but I'm getting anywhere from 5 to 15% interest on my money, depending if it's USDT or Link or is it BTC or Ethereum. And to me, that's great. And then, like you said, I can also send my money through email or request money through email to my Celsius wallet. The downside I see there is that it operates more of as a centralized wallet. So it's going back to what the banks were doing, right? So I don't control my keys anymore. What I really like crypto, and I believe in crypto because the DeFi craze you're seeing right now. I feel that we should not have to depend on banks and governments. We should not have to depend on these central parties. So yes, I also agree with Kyle. I'm seeing all these new tools and platforms coming out that are all about financial inclusion. But I'm just wondering, where do we go from there? Doesn't that go against the whole idea of crypto? Like, that's what I just feel myself. Because I love using Celsius, don't get me wrong. I love to see earning all this interest, which I was not earning before. But at the same time, it puts me, hey, I don't control my money anymore. It was the same as I was keeping in the bank before.
Yeah,
so
there's a lot of DeFi tools now that are decentralized versions of Celsius, where you can still, just contribute your crypto, whether it's stable coin, Bitcoin, whatever, to liquidity pools, and then you can just take it back whenever you want.
Yeah, but they're not easy. The DeFi tools are not easy to use, though. They don't have, you can't work through them in an email or a simple user experience, right? The DeFi tools, you got to know how to use Uniswap. You got to know how to use MetaMask. The average person can't use that. Like, I can't expect my mom to go and use, or even my dad, who's a successful businessman, if I tell him to use MetaMask or Uniswap, he's gonna have to spend 6 hours just to understand how they work. Like, even a simple thing as going on a transaction, you have to approve it first and send it ahead. Second time, you have to understand gas fees. Because most transactions will not go through right now. I mean, we're seeing Ethereum gas fees skyrocketing, right? So, I mean, that's the issue. So yes, there are DeFi tools. I mean, I use them too myself, but they're not that easy. They're not that easy to use. It will be very hard for non-crypto user to use DeFi tools as we know today.
That's why in fintech you have a lot of in between. That's why the banks are getting involved in this, because you're going to have that. And Kyle said it, you said it, the grandma, mom, and dad friendly interfaces that are going to allow people to easily use it, not knowing that they're using it. So when that happens, there's going to be a convergence of all types of things. That's just my view on it.
I just agree, but what I really feel, right? I mean, I'm a big believer in crypto because it takes away that power from the governments and banks. If you end up turning crypto into another one of the systems that they can work around and make it work in their favor, we're not going to be able to get the main goal, which is to take power away from a few people and give it to the masses.
That's the great battle. That's the great battle.
Yeah,
banking,
that's a very big battle.
Banking's not going to let you do that. That's the problem.
You opened a can of worms that requires almost the whole ecosystem to work together. I think that has been the intention from PayPal days. But coming back to what she asked about the trends in payments, I'll give you a small trivia. It's about 8 years back. We presented a paper called "Rise of Digital Financial Players in China." So we basically worked with Ali and Tencent and others as a part of BCG. I was part of BCG then, heading the fintech practice. So we kind of predicted how the payments is going to shape the future of financial services. And we presented to the bank saying that, look, take caution, otherwise it will be very difficult for you. They literally threw us out of the door. And when I look at now to 2020, the figures, it's astounding. What we kind of perceived at that time and what we felt is more than overwhelming in terms of the kind of growth that we see in the payments. And the recent COVID might have been affected a lot of industries, but regarding payment and e-commerce, it's doubled. What was predicted for 2025 is already there in the past 6 months. So almost a 5-year growth. We see this in terms of e-commerce that's accelerating the payments. And also almost, if you look at Southeast Asia as a continent, I don't want to go global, but the area where we live in, almost 49% of urban consumers in the region who commercially bank are already having e-wallets. And the biggest growth, blue ocean, is around the e-wallet users among the unbanked population. So e-wallet is very strong as a medium, as a digital medium within the Southeast Asia. And we've also seen from 13% to about 43% increase in the investment within the space of fintech companies. And this is again led by Alibaba, SoftBank, Tencent, and few other bigger players. They predominantly try and participate in this space. So it's taking to a point where, as Louis kindly said, it's a challenge to the banks from the digital players. It is because of the strength of the way these guys are digital natives on the payments. They use the data. They're also attacking the banks in several ways. this is kind of making the scene very interesting.
That's the
in taking
problem. That's the
liberties.
problem. The data, the security part of it is going to be part of it. You're not going to get singularity in fintech and payment systems and currency. And what we're going to have, I mean, it's going to be a long time before that happens. So how this evolves is going to be very interesting, Bosky.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
I agree with that.
I just come to you guys. I know we have a lot of people to speak, a lot of things. James just joined.
You told us to connect, so that's why I unmuted. Now I'm going to mute.
Please connect. I'm really happy that I have to sit back and watch today. So James just joined us. Hi, James. Welcome to VCTV for the first time. Can you just have a quick intro about you?
Yeah, hi guys. My name is Jim Ingham and I'm the CEO of FinexFlow, a fully regulated CeFi DeFi cryptocurrency aggregator based here in Singapore.
Excellent. Welcome to VCTV. James is going to give a presentation in a couple of minutes from now. Thank you. Okay, so talking about the trends, I haven't covered Khaled. Khaled, what do you see in e-commerce and mobile payments in Bangladesh or the regions
mobile
that
banking and other CS software? Yeah, I agree. I like to go with Bosky and also Ivan and also Luis was talking about. So yeah, you're pretty true that now there's a very big fight between government and private sectors, and where the money is now being independently. They have options to deal to actually pay, and they have lots of different options to actually control the flow of money and avoiding government in some cases, and sometimes it's now the power is coming to the human being. Yeah, it's a very good fight. And also what the Bosky was telling about, yeah, in the Southeast Asia, the density is very high. Population is very very high, dense population is here. So what we have found that although the payment units may be smaller, but due to huge amount of dealing, at the end of the day, the total amount is not bad. So whatever the niche is, the mobile banking is actually growing very fast over here. And what I fully agree with Bosky that, yeah, within last 6 months, it has been increased in 5 to 10 times than the before COVID area. So our new niche, who are coming with the new niche of mobile payment-based initiatives, startups, we are actually trying to fund them because they are doing very well now and on. But I don't know what will happen. So we have to be a stability, because if we just think about this COVID-19 situation, then what will happen after 3 to 6 months later, when the situation will be more easier. So whether these initiatives only startups only based on mobile banking will last long or not, that's also in our consideration too. So thank you very much. Yeah, I'm learning a lot. Yeah.
I mean, I can go back and I agree with 100% what he said. Like, I'm also actively looking to launch mobile banking, mobile wallet apps in different countries, because you got to remember, the world is 200 countries, right? And we're seeing places like India and Bangladesh and China where these mobile wallets have come in and they've basically disrupted the whole market, right? And everybody's using them. We're talking hundreds of millions of people using these. I, for example, in India, don't carry cash, don't use credit cards, only use Paytm. It's a mobile wallet. So I don't have any bank accounts in India per se because of my legal tax residencies in Dubai. But I live in India. I'm Indian born and I do a lot of work in India and I have a lot of staff there. But I use only Paytm for my personal expenses. Well, anytime I take an Uber, maybe if I'm going out to eat, if I'm buying even a haircut, stuff like that, I'm using mobile wallet every day. And we see this happening in major countries. So we're looking to launch these products and these mobile wallets in countries like Maldives, in countries like Suriname, like small island countries with less than 1 million people living, but there's dozens and dozens of these countries that are ripe for this disruption. They also can benefit greatly from a service like this, but there has to be somebody who takes the lead on the ground, and what you call a CEO level player or operator level, who can go and launch these companies. So I mean, anybody watching this, please reach out to me if you're in a country like that and you think there's an opportunity to launch a mobile wallet in your country. We're very ready to invest there. I mean, there's a huge
One perspective on that is, while I'm a big proponent and I was also behind the strategy of one of the largest mobile wallet in Indonesia, Off late, I have developed a perspective that wallets are also getting challenged by banking system. That's even more dangerous. They are all going to an extent of even displacing MasterCard. India is the classic example where we had something called RuPay from a card perspective, card networks, and we have something called BHIM. So it's a peer-to-peer transfer that has negated the need of using the wallets. So initially, about 2016, I also had a wallet, and we were almost on a verge of partnering with a telco and etc. It fall apart because of the increase in the surge of the usage of BIM. It literally killed hundreds of wallets. So if you really want a wallet, please do feel free to approach me. We have a ready product you can launch in any other countries. But the fact remains that it's initial. If nothing else is there, the banking system is slightly behind. The backbones are not as strong as what India has done. Then wallets are a great way. It will surge. It will have a great impact. China is a different story. I always differentiate between China and rest of countries. But I think this trend, increasingly, I've seen Vietnam government, Indonesia government, Thailand government have all sent people to India to study this system to see if they can implement it there. Then it'll actually kill the wallet markets. We need some other new alternative.
I think I have to disagree a little bit there. I have to disagree a little bit there because see, Beam and UPI are systems which you can pay directly from your bank account to somebody else's bank account. Is using it's been set up in a way, but to use that system, you need to have a bank account. You need to have an Indian bank account to use something like UPI. People like me, or majority of the people who don't have a bank account, can't use them. The real convenience that a mobile wallet really bought was that 600 million people got access to the internet for the first time in India in 2017. That's all the people in Europe and 4 times the people in America, right? That's double the people in Europe and 4 times the people in America. And they all got access to the internet the first time. So they could go on their phone, download an app, use an email and a phone number, and suddenly they started building a credit history. And then, so with the companies I invested in FT Cash, what they really realized is they suddenly built this credit profile of all these people who had no credit profile or a bank history before. Then they started giving them loans. So they got into lending. So a wallet, which is actually smart, can expand into different verticals, right? But the main convenience that the user has, they don't have to go through a hassle of opening an account. That's the issue. They don't have to go to a bank and submit 10 different documents, which they don't have. Because I mean,
Evan, you're in the right space, because just so people know, in the mobile payment space, in this year, because of the pandemic and everything, 1 billion mobile transactions happened, 1 billion and growing. By 2023, you're talking about 2.7 trillion globally in business transactions and transactions mobily. It's growing. So security, the peer-to-peer is great for the companies that are doing like the Venmo and Zelle and the companies you were talking about, Evan. You're talking about connecting with the bank. So that's a different animal, because the banks are going to gobble that up because they want to control it. They want to control the fintech. So the peer-to-peer and that singularity idea, it's a beautiful idea, but it's something that the singularity is not going to happen in finance, because, especially in the United States, they're not going to let that happen. Okay, it's about control. So, we'll see how all that works out. But in mobile, you're in the right space, right time. And any companies that are involved in that, you come up with the solutions, you're going to have a big growth spurt as we go into 2021. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, thank you, Van. Thank you, Louis. I'll definitely going to come back to you. We have Gary to share his insights as well, and then Jose. We're just conscious of the time as well. Gary, over to you about your insights.
So, I mean, I just wrote an article in Forbes called "The Democratization of Opportunity: Nikola Tesla's Dream Comes True." What's happened over the last 8 months is phenomenal. This digital transformation has really leveled the playing field for all of us. So if we talk about trends, Sonny, in terms of e-commerce, and I started one of the first e-commerce consulting companies. I actually did Delta, American Airlines website, worked on Walmart, worldwide actually, back in the late 90s. So where are we today? So today we have a great audience that's been really pushed forward because of COVID and this pandemic. We probably have another 1.5 years, 2 years to work through this if it follows the trajectory of the Spanish flu. So let's look at where we are. I mean, people are home. People are doing a lot more online shopping. we need to enhance those experiences. So hyper personalization, chat box. So if we talk about the trends, AR. So if I want to visualize what kind of clothes that I can put on, because now I can't go in the shop to try them on. So if we look at this, it's really a global opportunity that's unprecedented. In fact, McKinsey said 92% of the companies a year ago were looking at the digital transformation over the next 10 years. Well, that's really happened in 6 months. They've been forced to do that. So I love it. So we look at sustainability, hyper-personalization, mobile shopping and 5G, right? Quantum computing coming into the shopping experience. Imagine this. A quantum computer is 100 million times faster than I just wrote another article in Forbes that's coming out probably the end of this week on AI and quantum computing. Think about it. How much data we can understand about a person. And for our time to have exactly the kind of product that we want, predicted at exactly the right time is fantastic. So we're in AI is the new electricity. This is the beginning of the 20th century. We are here. Artificial intelligence is throughout our lives. We say, oh, it's just coming. It's here. It's been here. Google, use Google every day. Well, how does Google know? How does Facebook know when I get these ads? I just shopped. I just did myself. I bought a car yesterday. And instantly, I started getting accessories for the car. I couldn't believe it. It was unbelievable. I loved it, actually. I bought some stuff because it knew what I liked, right? So this is a great time for us. So chatbots, everything that's going to make our life easier. And we're going from not smart assistants. And I started Eva, which is close to $1 billion company today. And we started as a Google I search for the personal cloud. But we're going from smart assistants to really intelligent everything around e-commerce. And I love it. The next 6 months, the next year are going to be profound changes in the way we look at online shopping.
Absolutely agree. We give James 10 minutes to talk about his project. Then Jose, if you don't mind, we can continue this discussion about e-commerce. A lot of insights from you coming there. Just give James 10-15 minutes to talk about his presentation. James, are you ready to present right now?
Sure. Yeah, no worries.
Are you sharing screen?
Shit.
What happened?
I'm using a new MacBook and I'm trying to work out how to share screens. It's come up with a new message saying...
Harold, can you give him the host rights so that James can share the screen?
Share screen. Okay, can you see this now?
Yes, we can see that now. Yes.
Cool. Okay, so as I mentioned before, my name is James Gillingham and I'm the CEO of Finex Flow. Finex Flow, we're the world's first regulated hybrid CeFi and DeFi liquidity aggregator. Our aim is to revolutionize the cryptocurrency industry, and here is how. So we have all purchased and invested in cryptocurrency. We know that it's impossible to source global best prices and rates. There is clearly a lack of market liquidity and depth. Hacks are always a concern. Not really surprising, given that $5 billion has been lost in total for cryptocurrency. Globally, there's been a lack of regulations and fair trading practices. Rarely are assets insured, meaning that all assets are at risk. So what does this really mean? So the institutional and the smart retail money is currently yet to enter the market. They're still watching and wondering whether they can enter both the CeFi and DeFi space in a secure, regulated and insured environment whilst sourcing the global best price and rates for their assets. So Finex Flow is the bridge between the cryptocurrency jungle and the traditional markets. At Finex Flow, we aggregate the world's CeFi and DeFi protocols, giving clients access to the global price discovery and a secure and regulated environment. Simply put, we give the best rates anywhere, anytime. We bridge the traditional market it into the crypto jungle, taking an entire army of security, regulation, and safety to protect all who cross. So how does Finex Flow work right now? So our CeFi platform is built and executed with high community demand. Our DeFi platform is almost ready to be rolled out. The back end has been built from the ground up, and the aggregation model is tested and fully operable. Our technical specifications make our platform efficient and fully scalable. We have implemented a one-click execution methodology to incentivize higher trading volumes with an auto mining function, which gives traders and investors for rewards, bringing DeFi to CeFi and CeFi to DeFi. No one else globally can offer this. We have a unique user experience and a user journey like no other protocol or exchange with full API connectivity. We already have a huge community of over 80,000 followers in just over a year. We are fully regulated by the Monetary Authority of Singapore. So we are the world's first hybrid and DeFi CeFi aggregator with voting governance. We're regulated and secure. We have cross-chain pairs like TRX against Ethereum. We have an intuitive bespoke user experience, and we have API technical standardization. So who are Finex Flow's competitors? So we really have 1inch for DeFi and Tagomi for CeFi. 1inch recently raised, I think it was about 2.8 million from Binance and other VCs recently, and Tagomi sold to Coinbase for reported $300 million US. So Finex Flow is re-imaging crypto trading. We are the only hybrid liquidity aggregator operating in both CeFi and DeFi in the world today. So moving on to the tokenomics, we have a total token supply of 600 million tokens, 55% for yield farming, 11% for the Finex Flow team, 5% for our private sale, 10% for our public sale, and 19% for partnerships. The reason partnerships is high is that we are looking to have to grow strategic partners around the world for the next 5 years for the success of our business. Our token is a utility token, which comes with voting rights over the platform, can be farmed by high volume traders. We also have a buyback mechanism, which essentially regulates the supply. So we have 33% of our trading revenue is actually being put to one side in order to market make the token. And then we also have staking. Staking is where clients will come in and essentially receive fixed term deposit with rewards. So we're constantly reducing the supply, giving it to stakeholders, and then looking for FXF tokens to be yield farmed and then also given across from the buyback. We will then pass those reward tokens to yield farmers. So we are raising 5% of the token supply in our private round. 2% of the round is at 8 cents and 3% at 10 cents. The public sale is 10% of our total token supply at 12 cents. So we're raising just under $10 million US. 25% of our funding is going to be attributed for marketing. This will really give us the firepower we require, which really leads us into the product roadmap and the Finex Flow roadmap. So the full product launch will be Q4 2020. Our aim is to have 65 active traders in Q1 2021. We're also acquiring a license in Europe. So we're actually acquiring a Cypriot license, and we will be licensed, we imagine, be granted by the end of January. And we will automatically receive passporting across the whole of Europe, so 27 member states. And then we'll be opening up a US office in Q3 2021 and also acquiring regulation. So we have 25 plus staff covering tech, business, legal, and compliance. As you can see here, this is really the C-level executive team. Our team also comprises of leading blockchain experts and traditional market experts, which gives us the blend of to bridge both sides, both crypto and the traditional world. There's also a few advisors that are not on here, but I would imagine you guys know some guys like Michael Turpin and Chris Williams just been recently added to our advisory board.
Sure.
So just to summarize, we're a company operating for over a year with a fully functioning product, an expert team who's built startups that sold to multinational companies, and we have full MAS regulation here in Singapore. We have a huge community following. Finex Flow really is the bridge to huge institutional money and the bridge to your next crypto fortune. So thank you very much for listening to my pitch, and I now open the floor for questions.
Excellent. Thank you, James. Thank you for that great presentation. You may stop the screen share now. Yes, thank you so much. Kyle, I would like you to give your feedback and ask questions to James.
Yeah, James, thank you for the presentation. Who are your customers? Is this B2B or B2C?
Good question. So phase one is to retail, essentially. So probably B2C. And then phase two is going to be B2B, some more institutional level investors.
So you're basically building an exchange.
No, it's a brokerage. So the way that we work is that we have multiple liquidity providers that plug into us. So right now we have 25 exchanges that we have an aggregation engine for, as well as protocols. And then what we do is essentially the clients will face off to us, and we will give the global best price from our liquidity pool.
So, okay. And when you say 25 exchanges, how are you? Is this you've made partnerships with them, or you're just using their open APIs to and having accounts on these exchanges?
So we have we have connectivity via their open APIs, and we've also got non-exchange liquidity as well. So we've got a bunch of market makers involved as well in the pools of liquidity. Okay, so basically you are an arbitrage solution. We can be used for ARB, yes. I mean, if a trader, so you have a platform that people can trade on, right? Or buy and sell, right? So it's basically an exchange that aggregates all liquidity from other brokers to provide it to your customers, right? Correct. Yes. Okay. Giving better pricing, better price discovery, etc. So let's say that a customer wants an order that doesn't exist natively on your book. So you need to go take it from, let's say, I don't know who you're connected to, but say it's Binance, whatever. So Finex Flow needs to go open up accounts on all the 25 of these exchanges, pre-fund all the assets in all the 25 exchanges. And then you need to have a bot that's on all these exchanges that will go and buy the order when your client wants it. Then you need to sell it to the client, to your clients, right? No, the way that we've created it is actually a dark pool liquidity provider. So we sit in the middle, we face off to the exchanges, the clients face off to us. Essentially, we receive capital for liquidity farming. So when the capital gets added to our liquidity pool, we will add that to the underlying liquidity providers. We then give FXF tokens in exchange for providing liquidity. So it's instant execution. So there's zero latency. So we won't have, so if a client faces off to us and executes a trade into our aggregation engine, then we instantly execute that depending on wherever the best price is across the underlying exchanges.
So James, you're like a trading floor for crypto then, right? You just
exactly correct. Yeah.
Pretty much. I just wanted to clear that up so there's no confusion with all the
answer Kyle's question. I was interesting when you said that you would have to fund all of those exchanges with your existing assets, right? To do that trade.
No, it's not our assets. So we have liquidity farming. So it's like DeFi to CeFi and CeFi to DeFi. So clients will come on, they will add their liquidity. We will then fund the underlying exchanges, and then we give those clients that are funding liquidity, we will give them FXF native tokens as a reward for adding to our liquidity pool. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then okay, gotcha. So, and the token use case is strictly just for giving, it's mostly for giving incentive to people who are providing liquidity. No, so the token itself is used very much similar to BNB, right? So it's to reduce trading fees. So traders come onto the platform, they're executing, they will get an average, depending on liquidity, they'll get an average of about 20 to 30% discount if they're using the FXF native token.
So your token is basically not used outside of what they're doing with you.
No, it's a utility token. However, we do have a bunch of purchases that are, because of the token model.
It's kind of like what Amazon does with their token. It's like having a coupon or a discount on your trading fees.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
So you have on your roadmap it said that you had like conceptualized or started this project in 2019, was it?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So I'm just wondering, and do you have is your platform working and people are using it right now?
It's working. It's integrated within the test net. We haven't yet rolled it out. We will be rolling it out, I'd imagine, by December, January.
Okay. So a lot of the best projects and the most popular ones in the entire crypto space, their Telegram communities might have 20, 30,000 people in it. I'm just curious how you guys managed to attract 81,000 people to a Telegram group when I've never heard of this project before.
That's more of a question towards our marketing community managers. They've managed to add a lot of people. I guess that's from their pre-existing communities that they already have, because they've been working on multiple ICOs. They've been in the industry for many years, so they've been adding people that have already purchased from various other ICOs and other areas of the crypto market.
I can just interject. It looks like your platform is more geared towards institutional as opposed to, individual holders. I think that's where the money shot's going to come in with what you're doing. It's just like the New York Stock Exchange. You're matching trades up, so you're matching trades in crypto, so it allows institutions to actually move stuff around and make it quick.
Yeah, so we have smart order algos. So we have TWAP, VWAP. We slice up the larger orders into child orders, and then we go across multiple pools of liquidity to get a much better average price. But we also do cater for retail, right? Because the retail guys, maybe they're signed up to just Kraken or you try and sign up to multiple accounts. You got multiple keys, you got multiple KYC, multiple processes. Instead of just plugging into us, you plug into us once, and you can access all of those exchanges.
Anything from questions from you, Ivan?
I mean, it's interesting. I have to do my own research before I can really ask more questions. But it's an interesting model what he's done. I definitely have not seen somebody do something similar. But it was a very quick pitch to be really able to understand properly. I still didn't understand a lot of the things, so I'm probably gonna check it out after the call and see and go into detail for sure, mate.
Yeah, I'm going to connect you both on WhatsApp. I mean, you already are connected on WhatsApp. Yeah, so you can.
I got bounce in like 5 minutes or less. So it was a great panel, guys. Really appreciated connecting with all of you. I would love to talk to you guys later. Maybe Louis, I really like your mindset, what you talked about. Always look for similar kind of people. But yeah, I mean, it would be great to connect with everybody involved, hopefully after this panel. But it was definitely good to connect right now.
Yeah, no problem with that.
Any other questions from you, Kyle, for James?
Go ahead, whoever's speaking. It's fine.
Sorry, who was that? Any questions for James?
Yeah, may I?
Yeah, sure. Sorry.
Sure. Yeah, I was wondering about the the particular value proposition. Say how you're adding value to. Particularly, if you like to be stand out for comparing to other companies like this. So where is you adding more value in your particular solution or proposal? May I?
Yeah, sure. So we actually access both markets. So we access both the CeFi and DeFi world. We aggregate multiple pools of liquidity, essentially through one portal, one KYC, one AML, one total process. We give better price discovery. We have regulated custody of assets, which means that if there ever was any issues, which there's a high improbable chance of actually happening, but if there ever was, clients are fully insured. We also do code reviews of protocols. So we have an internal team that do smart contracts. So we really bridge the institutional and smart retail money into crypto that are currently really concerned about entering the market. market because of all the hacks and the issues that keep on happening. So that combined with giving much better price discovery and getting a much better price, as well as what Kyle mentioned about the ARB opportunities, right, between exchanges. So we give clients access to that in one portal, essentially. And then if you actually look at the actual platform itself, we have one-click trading, we have multi-screen charting, we give accessibility. We all come from an institutional trading background, working in hedge funds and banks. So we bring that experience into the cryptocurrency world.
I have a question for you, James, real quick. Now, how hard is it for a traditional bank to integrate into what you're doing?
Well, traditional banks, they work with fixed API. Most of the exchanges right now, they work on REST and WebSocket. Some of them have some API, but they put an API over a REST and WebSocket, which means it causes a lot of latency, a lot of lag, a lot of execution. An institution would never want to trade with one particular counterparty. The reason being is that, for instance, if they're trading through Coinbase and their liquidity got pulled, or there was a hack, or there was an issue, the risk is too much. So they would much rather come to an intermediary, someone that sits in the middle, that has multiple pools of liquidity. So even if one liquidity provider stops providing liquidity, you've still got multiple other areas, including market makers. So they've still got options in order to get in and out of the market.
That was my point, because if you have it that you have traditional banks, bigger banks integrate into it, then you have something potentially just an outthought, as an acquisition possibility down the road. I'm sure that's you guys thought about that. Yeah.
Jose, any questions from you, from James?
I would like to place some practical questions. First of all, are you looking for public money, or are you looking for private investment? And the second question would be immediately after that. So how do you see the return on investment?
So we're completing a private round to begin with, which is 5% of our token supply. So the first 2% is at 8 cents, and then the remaining 3% is at 10 cents. So that's more public. That's public money, and then we'll be moving into a public round. So the private round comes first, and then the public round shall begin. And then, sorry, the second question.
Well, it's return on investment, and I like to place immediately another one, which would come after immediately, which is what's the company valuation that you were basically looking for?
Okay. All right. So the return on investment, we're anticipating within the first year, the token, we believe the token should be able to go up to about $1. We believe we will be listing at around 12 to 15 cents, depending on the underlying exchanges, the way that they will value us, obviously, given supply and demand. However, because of the token distribution and the way that we're limiting supply, we're essentially buying back the token and we're giving it to stakeholders, and we're staking long term. So essentially, demand for the platform shall increase, and the amount of tokens that are in circulation will be decreasing. So we anticipate that there will be natural appreciation. The valuation of the actual whole business, the model, everything that we've built so far, once these rounds have been completed, we believe that it's in the region of about $70 million US dollars.
Okay, thank you.
I'd like to hear input from Gary on this too.
Hold on, sorry, I'm just curious. Do you also have an equity stake or equity? Is this purely based token economy, or is there also some type of company revenue stream that's paid out in fiat?
No. So right now it's just tokens.
Pure token economy. So all the revenue generated, everything like that, all the fees is all done in tokens and everything. Because so you said 33% of the trading fees go back to buying tokens. What is? I think that number is right. Correct me if I'm wrong, but what does the other 66% go to? So
the other 66% goes into operations, which goes into expanding into new markets, marketing,
treasury, sure. Okay. Just so you know, James, after this, so what we're creating something called Crypto Exchange Alliance. It's a similar goal, but our market is B2B. We're servicing exchanges, so we're aggregating. This is why I had some very specific questions, because we've been dealing with this for 2.5 years, like the exact same situation, but we have very different end client goals. We're servicing exchanges to aggregate all the liquidity from all the different exchanges. and be able to create a global order book and feed that back to all the different exchanges, and then let them, let a trader on their exchange. If an order can't be filled on their exchange, we can cross exchange order match and execute, and then have a settlement network as well. So we should, have a chat afterwards, see if there's any collaboration opportunities, because we're really like similar goals, but different audiences. So not really competing directly, which would be some good synergies possibly.
It's very, very interesting. Yeah. Sounds like a good project.
Excellent. Any questions from Gary?
No, Sonny, I have to jump off. I have a VC call. We're closing a deal right now, so I'm going to jump off right this second.
Yeah. Any closing remarks before you jump off, Gary?
I mean, this is great. I really love it, and it's great to meet some new friends, and I appreciate it. VC TV is incredible. You can reach me, by the way, at Gary Fowler at LinkedIn. I'm an investor. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I love AI. Reach out to me. And thanks, Sonny, for a great event. And thanks, everybody. Great, Lewis, Josie, Evan. Great seeing everybody today.
So before you leave, Gary, just a quick update. So James and everybody else, if you would like to connect with Gary, you can go to our website. I'm not finishing yet. You can go to www.latoken.com/profiles, and Gary's profile is featured there. You can see the kind of investments he's done, the kind of companies he's founded, especially in the technology field. And feel free to reach out to him if you need my help or Carol's help. Please do let me know. Thank you so much,
You
Gary.
just go to Google and look up Mr. Forbes. He's right there, centerfold. That's what he does.
Right here, right in front of you.
Sonny. I appreciate it. Gary at gsdvs.com is my email address. So please reach out to me. Thanks, Sonny. Thanks, everybody. Take care of yourselves.
Gary, and see you soon. Please.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye. So, sorry. Okay. So, any questions for James right now regarding his project from anybody in this panel? No? Yes? Okay, James, you're good. Kyle's got your attention, and Ivan is going to connect with you directly after the show. So let's continue with the basic topic of this session. Jose, Khaled, Bosky, Lewis, please, let's make it free flowing. We still have 5 more minutes, 5-10 minutes. Any insights to share about e-commerce?
I'd like to share an experience of mine. That is now since the COVID-19, so we are actually, most of us are stuck home at home, blooming very highly, huge, because lots of consumer to consumer transaction is also going on, and the platform, they are earning good money because of the huge number of consumers around, say in Southeast Asia especially. So there are also some consumers are also very big. Actually, maybe they're doing third or the secondary sale or something like that. But still, it is growing very high in our area. So do you have any special comments on these, or interest on these kind of investments
guys,
and others?
Sorry, I got to jump too, guys. I have a call. Bye. Thank you so much.
I'd love to, because you are also coming for forthcoming sessions, for upcoming sessions. You're going to be speaking, and okay. I hope to see you soon. And any closing remarks before you go?
No, just connect me and James, please, on WhatsApp. And thank you so much. Bye-bye, everybody.
Okay, take care. Good night. Okay, great. So, okay, Jose, any questions for any insights on Khaled's question?
I just would like to pick up where Gary Fowler left, because I think he made some real important notes there. So if you look at regulation to start with, there is no way you will be able to get permission to do whatever you want without regulation. It's an utopia. So better you get into the regulation and understand how it works and get inside and do it properly than thinking you're going to turn it around. So far, they have not bothered a lot, because look, the crypto market today accounts for 0.004%, not even a tenth of a percent okay, of global money fluctuations. So for let's say for somebody who is looking at 400 billion private, it's a huge amount of money. But realistically, on the whole volume that we have on a global scale, it's peanuts. And that's the issue. But once it's going to become more important, definitely they will force you to get into regulation. And that happens from one day to the other. And it's just, it's just one rule they bring out and you need to comply. You don't comply, you're out of the game. So that's point number one. The real disruptions in the coming years will be definitely artificial intelligence, AR, blockchain, because blockchain is a real disruptive technology. It's not fast, okay, but it's useful for a lot of things. I expect that we will have a different type of data storage in the future, which is much more efficient than a decentralized database the way we know it today, or even a blockchain. Don't know when that will happen, but it will happen definitely. And the main issue of everything, even if you look at e-commerce or at payment instruments or the settlements, we are going to a world which is instant. Instant buying, instant delivery, instant payment, instant interaction. So today, that reality is not achieved. And you can only achieve that once you converge the technologies more or less. Once you get e-commerce converged into social networking, into marketplace, into your banking, into your business process automation, and everything starts working on real time, then you get everything instant. And then you'll have no delay on everything, whatever you do. That data is stored and is instant available. Now, why am I saying this? Because this is where
I don't mean to cut you off, but I actually have to drop off. I have a board meeting.
Okay, Lewis, I know you just
just
we
want to
have
thank you guys. You guys can connect with me on LinkedIn, Twitter, or everything else. Great show. VCTV rocks. You rock. And just a great conversation. James, you can link up with me. Sonny will help you out. All right. You guys enjoy the rest of the show, and thank you. Enjoy your day.
Thank you,
Thank you,
and
Louis.
see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
So basically, that's what I would like to leave it. That's the way I look at it. So far, I've been making predictions for the last 15 years. I've not missed one. So they've all come out, more or less.
Yeah. So, Joseph, you have a point. I mean, crypto market is very the percentage is quite low as compared to the traditional finance. But if you given a chance, project like James, you just probably understand his business model. What's your?
Yeah, definitely, and I think it's something which is very interesting. Okay,
right.
I'm just giving another reality, just putting it on the other side of the table. So I'm not saying that crypto is not something that will stay. And what I'm saying is the model in which it's operating today is the one that I don't believe will stay. It needs to be much and much simpler. The problem is like this. Why do people accept paper money and coin money so easily? Because it's very easy to handle, right? That's the only issue. And with the model that we have today, crypto or non-crypto, people have a very hard time to use the applications and understand the tokens and how it works and how they can keep it safe, etc., etc. So it's just too complex. So what I'm saying is crypto, yes, okay, but in a much simpler modus of operandus. That's where we are going. And we are not there right now.
Exactly. We have to wait for that bit, maybe. So researchers are now, hopefully, they will come out with new solutions. But I don't know. But I like to, I do agree with you because of the artificial intelligence that was told by several of our speakers today. So yeah, AI is now becoming so actually a very core area of research. So to implement, to make new models, so how we can actually make the markets and also the e-commerce and others but easily, so that how can we actually I don't know how AI will be integrated with Bitcoin or this sort of I mean technology, but hopefully there will be some other way, some other models so that it will be more effectively used, or we can use it more effectively to identify, to
The
transact
issue,
or.
So they
yes,
are AI based companies in our community, in our network. They who have tokenized their solutions. There are quite examples already.
but we need to ask why AI, and that's the main point. Now, AI that we're going to get, or that we basically are developing, is because human-wise, you cannot process the way AI processes, the speed that it uses, okay, to come up with those conclusions. Human-wise, you cannot do it. So it's so fast, comparable to what we are capable to do personally, that that's basically the next step. And that's why you get AI in a bunch of other things.
Absolutely.
Maybe AI can make a trend, or may they make it the comparison, or I mean the calculation, and or the they can make the trend, or they can make the niche more perfectly rather than human calculation or human imagination, out of human imagination. Yeah, of course it is. I think so.
Right. Any other insights? Any other speakers here? Any other questions about the industry as a whole, like e-commerce, mobile payments, e-payments? Any questions, Bosky? Any questions or any insights? Last closing remarks from you.
I think I agree with most of what is being said. This is definitely an area of AI, and payments being the topic, there's no brainer. But it's a blue ocean. There's a lot of problems that needs to be solved. Crypto is one I don't understand it quite well. Like Jose has said, I have a lot of deliberations on the regulatory side because I've worked very closely with the regulators. I know their mind on how they view it. So the enormity of change makes it a slightly more distant topic, in the sense there will be very lot of disruption because it's on the edges. So naturally, more people like James would be there. A very interesting solution, James. Congrats to you. It's a
You
fantastic
are
idea.
regulated by Monetary Authority of Singapore, and how did it happen, and how smooth was the process? Maybe Bosky, you can hear it from James.
No, in many of many initiatives, even as ubiquitous as cloud is not regulatory friendly, right? If you go to Thailand and Indonesia, even banks can't go on cloud, and you look at the stark difference in value you can show between a native cloud-based core banking versus a traditional core banking. It requires no seer to tell what's the value between the new cloud-based. It's enormous value, but still you're not there. Whereas you have cloud native alternative digital financial attackers attacking your revenue pool at the same time, but not able to be given back by the bank. So I'm talking about a topic which is done and dusted, like cloud, where nobody needs to now think whether cloud is valuable or not. It's in itself regulated so much. So we're already talking about another 5 years for and typically in unregulated environment or whatever on the cloud. So crypto is even more distant, but I think that the newer ideas would come because AI, a lot of all these are becoming maturity. Payment has already reached the tipping point in my view. But I think crypto is a great area, but I think the business model should be simpler. So if what James is saying is I can understand, but if there are a lot of pools of investors who have money, like for example, a lot of investors where I go to, they have a lot of money, but they've all been in traditional business. To them, investing in tech itself is very difficult. To get them to invest in this kind of an instrument needs to be like at least 2-3 levels simplified, so that it doesn't appear as a very exotic
Complex
thing,
one.
right? Like after 2008, I at least in most of the derivative books, textbooks, if you see, at least thousands of instruments are missing from 2008 to now. So why was that first in place from 2000 to 2008? I think these hard questions needs to be asked, is what my point of view is. Not having conclusion, but I think asking the right questions could lead us somewhere.
We agree. I mean, we all three of us, like you, me, and James, are in Singapore, and James's offices is in Asia Square. We can catch up on a coffee and discuss in details.
James, you're very interesting.
Can I just say one last thing very fast? the way it probably will work in the future, because I've been thinking about this, is like a clearing system.
Yeah.
Because there is no way that you can exclude, let's say, one token or the other token, or one system or the other system. So eventually it will converge somehow into a clearing system that you basically have a settlement. And I'll leave it like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think, you know what, it's about education. I mean, crypto probably of the blockchain technology is, people think that it's like, obviously regulations, we've just regulated the cloud and crypto is far off. It's about education. It's about blockchain.
I think maybe you should have James and Kyle, like people just having one dedicated session on enlightening about crypto, the world, because there's quite a bit of understanding required. I think you need experts like them to actually use such a platform to educate broadly. I'm sure there'll be more traction.
Great idea. James, if you're game, then.
Sounds good to me.
Great. See, there you go. There you go. There we go, Bosky.
We also do some research on blockchain technology, how we can implement it in other areas for other models. For example, passport and visa processing, or some others, the land selling and buying and these sort of things. Yeah, it's already been implemented in some area of the world, but we're also trying in Bangladesh to implement those things. The new initiatives are coming here, new startups also coming here with these kind of solutions. We like to invest on them. Hopefully they will do better.
Khaled, I wanted to add that a lot of startups in Bangladesh are also contacting us. They're in crypto. So I think we have really crossed the time limit today. Jose, just hang on for 5 minutes. James, since you have just joined us for the first time, what's your feedback about VCTV?
It's been very insightful. I really enjoy the content, and I really think the panel's been fantastic.
Excellent. Thank you so much, James. Short and sweet. Jose, I know we all are like way ahead of our time. So what's your feedback about VCTV and the closing remarks, if any?
Well, I love VCTV. I've been enjoying all the panel members that are always present. Some faces always come back, and it's interesting to see how knowledgeable they are. I think the diversity is, makes it happen and creates solutions. To James, I would like to say that, I loved your presentation and happy to connect. And if I can be of any positive impact to you, get back to me, and always available. And to everybody else, well, I would say that you can always find me on LinkedIn on the Jose Graca, or search up for BizMoney, and I'm back again soon on VCTV.
Jose, we love to have you back. I wish if you could just dedicate all your time on VCTV, because I can see that energy, enthusiasm in yourself, the same energy, enthusiasm I have in myself in hosting this show. So we can co-host together one day. That would be fantastic, I think. So guys, thank you so much, Khaled, for coming back. Bosky, thank you for sharing your insights. Well, again, James, if you're okay, me, Bosky can catch up, and Bosky can learn from you the crypto. As Bosky rightly said, he has a lot of connections with investors. And it's about, this platform is about leveraging each other's connections and network for the benefit of all. We all are going to be benefited by the connections that we are building here today, right? We agree.
Yes.
Agree to that?
Agree. Yeah, of course. Yeah, and thank you very much for hosting a nice platform, and also hosting a wonderful program. Yeah, and you are doing a very hard job, and you're also doing it very well.
Thank you, Khaled, and really appreciate you representing Bangladesh, because I don't see many speakers from Bangladesh, and I really appreciate your representation on our panel, and I hope to do more on our panels. Having said that, you can watch our show Monday to Friday, all of you and our audience, at www.latoken.com/events. We cover many topics: crypto, blockchain, different sectors as well, verticals as well. Choose your favorite topic. If you like to speak, reach out to Carol. If you like to pitch, reach out to Carol, and we're going to get you on VCTV. Not only once, more than once. That's the idea. The idea is to help you get funded, help you to build network, meet people from other parts of the world like we're doing today. And build a solid network during this time, so that once you're over COVID-19 or pandemic, we really know who we were talking to. We can, make some good business out of it once we are, meeting face to face again.
Yeah,
Never
yeah.
know.
Of course.
So yeah, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks a lot. Yeah. Bye.
Take care, stay safe, and let's stay
Thanks, take
connected.
care.
Bye.